Hello, Assalamualaikum. Today, my group will present to you about fundamental of public speaking, module 8 for subject sport communication. So, I will introduce my group mate. My name is Ahmad Shukri bin Nur Azmi, and the other two group mate is Nur Fatihah binti Masrud and Ainu Alisa. Public speaking. Public speaking is the act or process of making speeches in public. Based on Online Dictionary 2016, public speaking was defined the art of effective oral communication with an audience. Each speech begins with yourself and it will affect your audience, either persuading or informing. Source of credibility. Audience perception of the effectiveness from the speaker. The credibility determined by the audience, like beauty, credibility is in the eye of the beholder. By Rosno and Robinson, 1967. Aspect of credibility. There are four aspects of credibility. The first one is competence. The second one is trustworthiness. The third one is dynamism. And the last one is common ground. So we go to the first aspect of credibility, which is competence. The speaker should be skilled, qualified, experienced, authoritative, reliable, and informed. The speaker should know how to attract the audience by their skill of communication. The speaker should be able to use words and technology well in increased competency as a speaker. The credibility of a speaker should be can use a technology because it can attract the attention of the audience. Knowing the substance of the speech, thus able to deliver each of speech without looking at notes, or we can say it as the speaker sometimes need to be spontaneously while deliver a speech. The second aspect of credibility is trustworthiness. Speaker is perceived as honest, fair, sincere, friendly, and honorable, and also kind. A speaker should never violate any of the audience trust as they listening for something that is directly from the speaker. As we know, when someone is talking, we expect that they deliver a true fact or a true news, so we can believe what are they talking or what are they delivered. Breaking trust will surely lead to a disaster, and it will hard to attain audience trust again. Dynamism is the third aspect of credibility. Dynamism is exhibited mainly by voice, movement, facial expression, and gesture. The speaker is energetic, bold, active, strong, emphatic, and assertive. Dynamism is attractive. In a simple word, the speaker need to have an aura to attract the audience by using our movement, our emotion, and also our gesture. So the aura will deliver to the audience, and the audience will pay more attention for what we are delivering. The last aspect of credibility is common ground. Sharing value, belief, attitude, and interest by Tupan, 1974. Informative speech requires a minimal amount of common ground, while persuasive speech needed the speaker to go beyond areas in acceptance for the speaker's point of view. So, informative speech normally we need to follow all the script, but persuasive speech we trying to adapt with the audience and the surrounding around us, so it will be not too formal and it will easy for the audience to accept or understand what we are trying to deliver.
For topic selection, there are so many ways in selecting a topic for speech. These are the common technique used in determining a topic. So the first one is brainstorming, second is personal inventories, third, involvement in the topic, and fourth, knowledge of the topic. So let's go through one by one. For brainstorming, it's good because you can put every single topic in it and you can choose which the best for the audience. However, even though this is the very good technique, but you will have limitation of time in listing out the topic and also preparing for the speech. The second is personal inventories, which is speakers survey on reading and observing the habits and behavior to discover topic of personal interest. So this will help us to uncover the areas that qualify to speak. This is because we are doing a personal research on something that on the topic. For example, you love to study about our football team, national football team. So by doing some research, then you are capable to talk about it because you already done your research. Third is involvement in the topic. Involvement is a measure of the importance of a topic to the speaker. It will be depending on the time that a speaker put in an area of speech, and as well as the effort that speaker spend on an interest. Include the speaker conviction, passion, and authority. So, example, when you are a football athlete, play at national level, so of course you already know about the rules and regulation about football environment and how it might affect the people around the football environment. So when you are talking about it, that is involvement in the topic. You are involved in a topic that you want to talk about. Fourth, knowledge of the topic. The power of knowledge a speaker has on certain area of topic discussed. The knowledge first comes from experience, from observation and discussion with these specialists in each area, and gaining information from the resources such as books, magazine, and internet, and so on. So knowledge is quite similar with involvement, but knowledge might not be something that you are involved in. For example, I love food, I love to play sport, I love music. So I have done a lot of research academically about chess. So I have the knowledge and I want to talk about it. Next, we are done about topic selection. Next is level of audience and analysis. This is very important because when you are giving a public speaking, you need to know who is your audience, because the way we approach our audience will be different based on their level. So basically, there are 4 levels of audience analysis, which are captive and voluntary analysis, demographic analysis, audience interest in and knowledge of the topic, last audience attitude, belief, and values. So for the level 1, captive and voluntary audience, captive audience means that the audience that has not chosen to hear a speaker or speech. They did not gather to hear the speaker, neither the speech. So the audience are not there because they want to, but they are forced to. Therefore, the speaker need to motivate the audience. This is the advantage is that the speaker may present ideas to people who are in ordinary circumstance, which they never knew and heard about the topic.
Next is a level 2 of demographic analysis. Collection and interpretations of data about the characteristic of people. The speaker will be needed to adapt with the topic to an audience. Then need to rely heavily on demographic informations. Conducting the demographic analysis help in design a speech in adapting the audience. Next is a level 3. Is audience interest in and knowledge of the topic. First is audience interest the relevance and importance of the topic to an audience. It was sometimes related to the unique of the topics. Second one is audience knowledge is amount of the information to the audience already has about the topic. Last is a speaker must be able to identify their audience, interest and knowledge in order to make their speech lively. Last is a level 4, the audience attitude, belief and values. First is attitude is the predispositions to respond either favorably or unfavorably to a person's object, idea or an event. The second is belief in a convictions, which is more enduring than attitude but less than the values. Values is a deeply rooted belief that governs our attitude upon some things. This is the audience attitude to belief and values. So next is a 3 method of audience analysis. First is observations, second is inferences, and third is a questionnaire. So this is the method of importance to the audience analysis after the speaker talk their speech or anything. Next, we remove to the organizing your presentations. There is 4 important parts to keep the speech and presentation. First is you must need introductions, the body, conclusions and bibliography. It means your references, for example. So in introduction is the opening of presentations. Then it's gaining and maintaining audience to get attention. Third is arousal the audience interest. Then starting the purpose, establish qualifications, and last is forecasting development and organizations. So the second one is for the body. The body must include of outline, rough draft, and then sentences outlines, keywords outline, organization pattern, relation patterns or spatial patterns, causes or effect patterns, problem or solutions, and then tropical sequence, and last transition and signposts. So this is a component to have in the body parts of your speech. So the last part in your speech is a conclusion. So the conclusion, you need to include this part. First is a summary review, and then remind the audience of your central idea and the main point. Then speech is a manner to make audience members to think or do as you're recommended, and then audience forewarn the audience that you are about to end the message, and then specify what the audience should think or do respond your speech. Right, last is a bibliography or references. First is list of the source that has been used in presentations, then informing other upon the resource to audience so that they are aware. Then last is creating the author after you had used each of the information. So you must to include the author name, the years, the websites in your speech. Especially for important is the author names and the year. So that's all.